Kash, welcome to the programme. First things first, were you shocked and surprised that the former president, has received a sexual assault conviction?
It's great to be with you. Thanks for having me, Nigel. And no, not at all. I talked to the president at length yesterday. This was not something that was a surprise to any of us. And as you pointed out, if this was a singular instance of the judicial process carrying out a conviction or held a culpability statement like this, then it would be something to focus on. But I think what Donald Trump has shown the world, and particularly Americans, is that there's the two-tier system of justice, not just criminally now, but civilly. And if you cannot receive a fair trial or a judicial proceeding, it's not that Donald Trump's the target. It's that you're next. And what he means by that is your neighbors, your parents, based on your political orientation. And so far gone is the universal rule of law that we have a bifurcation in our system of justice. And as a former federal prosecutor and public defender who did both sides of the aisle, you want one system of justice. You don't want a selective system of justice. So I think that's why he won't be impacted in the polls negatively.
It's extraordinary, isn't it? I mean, when the Founding Fathers, and when you broke away from us and George III and all of that, and your Constitution, your brilliant document, was written by the Founding Fathers, you set up your judicial system based on our common law system. We today in this country, very rarely, is there public debate about jury decisions that are made in courts. Occasionally, but very rarely. We, for 95% of the time, trust the independence of our judicial system. What has America done to corrupt that common law system? Because I find it, I mean, when you think about it, Kash, here's America, the leader of the free world, and half the country don't take that judgment yesterday, don't take that decision yesterday seriously. This is a very bad place America's in.
You're absolutely right. The destruction of our due process rights and Constitution is shocking. And we are in a position where America right now cannot lecture the rest of the world on judicial principles and values because our system has been eroded over time. And you asked what caused that? What prompted that? It took about 7-8 years worth of work and erosion that started with Donald Trump coming down the escalator in 2015. And when you go back and stitch things together like Russiagate, which I was a chief investigator of, or impeachment 1, impeachment 2, classified docs, etc., and you fast forward to the New York criminal case where Donald Trump is currently being prosecuted and the civil case that we're discussing right now, you have so many more Americans paying attention and asking, why was this type of surveillance conducted? Why is the law being applied unequally? And why are judges in on it? You're right. 10 years ago, I was all in on the judicial system. I was its champion. And like you said, 95% of Americans used to be like that. Yeah. But we have seen over time, and Donald Trump being just the target has shown Americans it's not a right-wing conspiracy. This is happening, and he is showing the world that it's happening in 2023 America.
I think you're right. I don't think this impacts at all on his campaign. But a final quick word, Kash, if you can. Could the Republicans, heading into the next election next year, offer a way to make this a better, fairer, and most importantly, more respected system?
Absolutely. And I think in order to fix the system, you need constitutional oversight from Congress to call out the agencies and departments, not just the judicial system, the DOJ and FBI and the intel communities that have utilized the system for political leverage. That needs to be defeated first.
It really does. Kash, thank you very much indeed for coming on.